Welcome back to another video, and today we are here rebuilding Crystal Palace, a team that seems like it's almost in the brink of turmoil. They have players like Eberici Eze, who left the club in the summer. He went over to Arsenal, nearly went to Tottenham, but chose Arsenal instead. John Mateta, he nearly left in January, but he failed the medical, and the board knew that. The Crystal Palace board knew that he would fail a medical, but it was kind of a bit of payback. The board are not happy with Oliver Glasner. Glasner is not happy with the board because they are not backing him or backing the club and re-signing players to replace players like Eze, like Mateta. They just feel like, or even Mark Gahey, who just went to Manchester City in January as well. There has been no reinvestment of those transfer funds back into the squad. And we're now with Oliver Glasner 100% leaving at the end of the season. There was a meeting just this last week about him possibly leaving earlier than the end of the season. The board decided to at least continue on at the moment. He is on thin ice though, and a termination of his contract is pretty much imminent here. They did advance to the next round of the Conference League in real life over the course of this last week. They beat the team. They went ahead and beat whatever the team is in real life. It's obviously not in the game here. It's not the same club, but Zherenski Monster, they went ahead and beat them. Obviously, in here in the playoffs, we went ahead and took on SB Charleroi. That was the next best thing that the game could offer us, and so I went ahead and just manufactured that in a 2-0 win in that second leg. Now, by the time you're watching this, the game against Manchester United in the weekend went ahead and took place. Obviously, I'm actually recording this the day before that. So yeah, I'm recording this on February 28th. The game takes on March 1st. In the the Conference League round of 16, they are taking on AEK Athens in this game. In real life, they're taking on AEK Larnaca, so not that far off of there in terms of namings. So our goal here is to try and get as high up in the Premier League table that we can here. We're only a couple points off top 10. We're only 5 points off top 7. We could make another run and try and get a Conference League, but the also main aim of the rest of the season is to somehow win the Conference League. That is the main aim for the rest of this first season, and then we'll get into the transfer window, really assess the squad, and go from there. So I will see y'all at the end of the season. I will come back and commentate over the games in the Conference League, and then obviously as soon as we get kicked out, we'll just be at the end of the season. So let's get to it. The game predicts that Manchester United, this is third place for them in real life to get up into the league, but they will lose that game. So obviously by the time you're watching this, the game already happened, but in this scenario, the game predicts that Crystal Palace will beat Manchester United. I would actually see that. I would love to see that. First game here of the Conference League round of 16. It ends in a 1-1 draw against the Greece side. Second leg here against AEK Athens on the Conference League. It's going to be AEK Athens to go through, and well, we get knocked out in the round of 16, so it's looking like it's just going to be a Mundo thing. I could have started this at the very beginning of the season. The only reason I started it now is there's a chance of winning the Conference League, and well, that's over already. And well, we go from 13th in the league at the start of this video to 12th. We went ahead and managed to finish 12th in the league. And looking at that, they are currently on, how many points are they currently on? 35. So within the last 11 games, we averaged a point a game pretty much. So that is not good at all. Arsenal are predicted to win the Premier League. They will look to do it over Manchester City. Aston Villa will remain in third, and it's predicting that Liverpool will finish over top Manchester United, who look decent on good form at the moment, and it actually looks like they'll finish on top of Man United by 8 points, so a collapse by Man United is on the cards there. Let's get into the new season. Let's assess the squad properly. Top goal scorer is going to be Ismail Yassar. He's about the only one that is kind of almost safe there. They did bring in Jorgen Strand-Larsen. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about they brought in Larsen. That is totally... I forgot they actually brought in Strand-Larsen. So yeah, let's get into technically season 2 of the rebuild. And so, assessing the squad, this is kind of the best case scenario that we have for it at the moment. A 4-4-2 flat here. Now, on paper, this team is not actually that bad, and this team is actually quite good in my honest opinion. There is obviously a couple of improvement angles, but realistically, it's not terrible. Dean Henderson is net is good enough at least for another season. In all honesty, maybe even two. Minoz is decent enough. We might look to replace him. LaCroix is good enough. Chris Richards is good enough, but we could look to upgrade him. He is obviously an upgrade angle there. Mitchell is definitely an upgrade angle. Pino is good enough. Is he good enough, though, is the question. I know I just said good enough, but is he really good enough? Yes, at the same time. Adam Wharton is kind of the marquee player at the moment. Hughes is definitely an improvement angle. He is not going to have it, but we also have something like Decorte that could obviously be a part as that as well. We could probably even go 4-4-2 holding as well because we have two CDMs. Sar is obviously here, but we also have Raksiki. We also even have Brennan Johnson as well. That could be a key player in this team. Yeah, so, and then Strong Larson, who just came into the squad, and then obviously Mateta, who we could look to improve on if we sell him. We have 87 or 78 million, 87 million to spend. Our goal here is top 6 for this first season, and hopefully like a domestic trophy, a Carabao Cup or FA Cup. That'd be great. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what options are and see where we go. And our first signing, we say hello to the American fullback from Fulham. Once wanted by Jurgen Klopp in his dying days at Liverpool, Anthony Robertson joins the squad from Fulham. We say goodbye to Tyreek Mitchell, plus 9.4 million in cash value as well to bring in Anthony Robinson. Welcome into the squad. Michael Coyote, the throw-in specialist from Brentford, joins the squad here at Crystal Palace. We have two new fullbacks. We say goodbye to the old ones. Daniel Minoz is also gone over to Brentford, plus 8 million in cash value. He comes in. The 21-year-old right back is going to be a key part of this team. Welcome into Crystal Palace. And we still got 50-odd million to spend now. Now, there is a couple of midfield options that we could go after, and looking at the transfer rumors as of late for Crystal Palace, there is a couple that seem crazy unrealistic, but they have been linked in here before, and to be completely honest, I'm still on the verge of possibly going for one of them. The rumor is about 2 days old here, so it's very fresh, but I don't think it's something that would happen. At least I don't think the player would join this club. I think the player would join back in the Premier League, and that's by Scott McTominay. But another fresh linkage as of 9 hours ago, apparently, according to reports, is that Joe Willock is linked with Crystal Palace for a reported price of 15 million. This is kind of obviously reported that he actually wanted to leave in January, but that obviously did not happen, whether or not he actually wanted to leave or not. But yeah, the other thing was Scott McTominay from Napoli. We could look to do this, in all honesty. We really could look to do this, but that'd be absolutely insane. But for now, Joe Willock comes into the squad. And Ousmane Diomande joins the squad from Sporting de Club Portugal over to Crystal Palace. Linked to them in real life, linked to many other Premier League clubs like Arsenal, even Liverpool, even Man City. Ousmane Diomande comes in for 32 million, and that's probably be the last signing we actually make this transfer window, unless we get a transfer over for somebody like Mateta or even like Pino, something like that. But Diomande comes into the squad. And we will, nope, this is actually going to be some loanees going out. So David Oza is off on loan for Ajax, and I'm going to cut this out the video probably. And here we go. Jean-Philippe Mateta is going to go ahead and leave the club. Medical pass this time. He's going to stay domestically. He is going over to Arsenal. Don't know why Arsenal won him, but Arsenal won him and Arsenal got him. 42 million. We fought to get up towards 40 million. The board thought 45 was the max, so the fact that we got 43 and they were offering 30 constantly and constantly, I will absolutely take it. Jean-Philippe is gone and a new striker will come in. And we stay domestically shopping once again for our brand new striker. Now, I don't know how long he'll be at the club, but he can at least do a service for now. A decent player, Evan Nielsen, will join the squad for $34 million. Welcome into Crystal Palace, and that concludes our spending of the transfer window. And so at the moment, this is our team here. The starting lineup doesn't change too much. A couple of players, obviously, Evan Nielsen, he's now paired along Larson, or I guess Larson's now paired with Evan Nielsen. We kind of get one player per area of the pitch, except goalkeeper. Willick is now a part of the Wharton, Pino, and Johnson midfield. Coyote is joined by LaCroix as the only other original defender in this team in the starting lineup. Diamande, and then obviously Anthony Robinson and Dean Henderson in the back of the net. And so let's go to January and see how these boys get on in this first half of the season. And halfway through the league, we are sitting where we finished last season in 12th with 28 points. We are 3 points off the top 8, 3 points off the top 7, 6 off the top 6, and then 8 or so off of 5th, and even like close to 12 off of, or 10th off of top 4. Arsenal are winning the league again. Let's just keep on marching on and keep on going and see how the boys can do to end the season off here. Now, before we go ahead and get in there, I wonder, out of pure curiosity, could we loan Scott McTominay? Oh my, wait, we actually could. We actually could loan in Scott McTominay. Hold on, this might actually work out. If we can loan him in for the rest of the season, that'd be great. Basic terms, I don't care if it's a short term. We can't sign him permanently anymore. We could have at the beginning of the season. I don't really care if I'm paying 60% of his wages. If we can bring in Scott McTominay, that will help out shape out this midfield so much. Joe Willock might get screwed over, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So let's see if we can bring in Scooby-Doo. And he does accept it. He does come in. Scooby-Doo, welcome to Crystal Palace for the rest of the season. Hopefully you can help out our midfield. Crystal Palace, Scott McTominay, the miracle maker, might actually work. We finished 5th in the league on 69 points. We were a couple of goals off the top 4 and making the Champions League, so we did better than what I want. I was thinking Conference League, maybe Europa League, and well, we got Europa League, and we got it by 3 points over Manchester United. Arsenal are going to win the league once again, this time by 8 points over Liverpool there. I mean, Scott McTominay must have did wonders here at the club. He must have been our top goal scorer. Evan Nielsen had 20 goals, and Scott McTominay only had 5 goals and 3 assists. But I guess everywhere around the pitch, he was effective as well. Evan Nielsen, his first season, had 20 goals. Strand Larson had 13. Pino, 10 goals and 10 assists. Brennan Johnson, 6 goals and 5 assists there. Ismail Sarr had 4 goals and 3 assists. And then Anthony Robinson with 4 goals and 3 assists. Well then, we have Europa League football in season number 3. Let's get to it. In season 3, we have 146 million to improve on this team here. Improvements would be Strong Larson, in all honesty. It would be replacing Strong Larson. Maybe bringing in Scott McTominay on a permanent duo ship as well. Maybe replacing another center back here of LaCroix and obviously Chris Richards. Maybe look at the likes of Dean Henderson, but even though he's good enough and just looking to constantly improve, even the bench definitely needs work. So maybe that could be the main focus, is bench work. So we'll see what happens. Now we are going to go ahead and bring in Fran Garcia as a free agent, let go by Manchester City, by Real Madrid, and Fran Garcia is going to come in to be a backup left back for Anton Robinson. And Mr. Barry is going to join the squad. Barry is going to join the squad from Everton. He is going to come in for Eddie Nketiah plus $30 million. He is going to replace Strand Larson as your starting striker. So him and Mr. Evan Nielsen are your 2 strikers up top. And Mr. Scooby-Doo, Scott McTominay, joins the squad on a permanent deal for the next 3 seasons if needed be. We say hello to him. He joins for Decore plus 34, 37 million, something like that. Welcome into the squad. Welcome into Crystal Palace. Markovic is going to join the midfield as a backup player for 24 million, 79 overall, 19 years old, aka Luka Modric's regen, pre-gen. Welcome into the squad. And after over the halfway point here, we are struggling. 15th in the league, 5 wins, 10 draws, 9 losses. These draws are kicking our butt. We are knocked out of the FA Cup very early on. We lose to Wolves there. We're in the Carabao Conference League. Carabao semifinals, in which we lost the first leg 2-1, and then in Europa League, I actually don't know how good we are doing there. We're not in the playoffs, so we're either in the top 8 or we're out. We are in the top 8, and we finished second in the Europa League, so we at least have some type of Europa League presence there. Let's get into it. Besiktas in a round of 16 of the Europa League. It's the first leg away from home up first. It's a 2-1 loss. Second leg here, we need a big performance to turn it around and keep on going on. It's looking like we did do that. A 2-0 win, which means a 3-2 win on aggregate. We are into the next round of the Europa League, and it's against Viking FK. So we'll be having Viking FK in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. It's another away leg up first, but here we go. This should be easier. It's a 1-1 draw. It's not easy at all. We're still needed all to play for in the second leg. Second leg here against Viking FK in the conference, I can't say the right competition, the Europa League. We win 2-0 on the day, or 2-1 on the day, and move on 3-2 on aggregate and into the semifinals of the Europa League. And looking at some of these results of the games going by in the league, it's looking like Europa League might be our only path of having champions or any type of European football for next season. And it is Bayer Leverkusen, probably one of the hardest teams they have left in the Europa League. The first leg here, it's a 1-1 draw, which Evan Nielsen picks up man of the match. Second leg here against Bayer Leverkusen. And Bayer Leverkusen do knock us out, so no Europa League glory for us. And we finished 14th in the league. That is simply not good enough. And, well, we're going to have to recover and fix it up for next season. So let's get to Season 4. Robin Roofs, welcome into the club. He joins from Sunderland. Dean Henderson, your job at the club is now over. Welcome in, Robin Roofs. He's our new #1 goalkeeper. Mickey Van de Ven joins the squad. Welcome into Crystal Palace. We tried to swap him with LaCroix. That didn't work, but 41 million. He comes into the squad. Welcome into Crystal Palace. And halfway through this season, we sit in 10th with 29 points. We are 7 points behind Aston Villa, 10 points or 8 points off against Chelsea, who's top 4. So a lot of work left to do, but these boys can definitely do it. See y'all at the end of the season. And what a second half of the season it was. From 10th to 1st, Manchester City fell apart. Man City really fell apart there. Wow. Aston Villa stayed put in 5th. Newcastle in 4th. Arsenal in 3rd. Man United in 2nd. Crystal Palace won the league. So part 1 of the rebuild is essentially done. Now it's got to go win the Champions League or get into the Champions League final. But we won the Champions League. We won the Premier League somehow. Somebody must have scored so many goals. Evan Nielsen had 27 goals. Barry had 13. Scooby-Doo had 11. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. We beat Arsenal 4-3. I was about to say, why are we playing Arsenal again? We went on a 3-win streak in April. We went on a 4-win streak in March, 2 of those being cup games. February, we went ahead. Oh, my God. We won every single game. Beating Man City, beating Liverpool, beating Newcastle in January. We went ahead and beat Man United. We beat Chelsea. We went on a, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. A 15-game win streak across FA Cup in the league. So probably what, 15, 13, 12 games in the league winning, which is absolutely insane. And if you were going to count that, the league win there still goes on there, and it still goes on all the way into that. We don't drop points in the league from February or from late January to May. That is absurd. Well, we won the league, and we have Champions League football. I'll see y'all here next season. Actually, I got to do contracts, then I'll see y'all next season. I didn't do contracts. I might have a couple players leaving. Now, with Anthony Robertson leaving because I didn't sign a new contract with him, we must go replace him. And so we find this young fullback here, 18 years old or 17 years old, 86 overall. Antonio Ramos comes into the squad for $75.2 million, 86 overall. Welcome in. And we bring in free agent Tamer Halal, right mid, 83 overall, a.k.a. Salah's regen. Welcome in for free. Michael Coyote, your job here is done at Crystal Palace, and now you will go over to Arsenal as we bring in the younger Calvin Delang. He comes in for $30 million plus Michael Coyote on the swap deal, 86 overall and 19 years old. Welcome in. We have our two new fullbacks, and our squad just got a lot stronger. And so this is our Champions League opponents here. We start away from home against Borussia Dortmund. And then we have FC Porto. We have FCSB. We have AEK Athens. We have AS Monaco. We have Copenhagen. And then in January, we ended off against Benfica and Atletico Madrid. So see y'all here on February 1st, where hopefully we're in the top 8 of the Champions League in the final of... not in the final, but in the top 4, top 3 of the Premier League and whatnot. I'll see y'all there. And well, it's February 1st, and I don't see any Champions League games here, so that can only mean one of two things. Either we're in the top 8, or we didn't make the top 24 in totality. What I do know is that we sit 3rd in the league. We are 10 points behind Arsenal. I don't think we can outdo that one. I don't think we can have a miracle like we did last season, but we can hopefully get into the next stage, which is obviously Champions League. That is obviously the goal there. Burnley is up next in round 4 of the FA Cup. Carabao Cup, we did make the semifinals, and then in the Champions League, we finished 2nd in the Champions League here. So we are into the round 16. So I'll see y'all back here on March 1st, or whenever we have the Champions League round 16 opponents figured out. I will see y'all there. And so here is the round of 16 Champions League fixtures. We have Bayer Leverkusen versus Man City, PSG versus Man United. We are taking on Juventus in the Champions League round of 16. We have Fenerbahce versus AC Milan, Dortmund versus Real Madrid, Bayern Munich versus Sporting, PSV versus Inter Milan, and then Spurs on against FC Porto. So some teams that got knocked out in the playoffs here are going to go ahead and be Copenhagen. Atletico Madrid got knocked out. Barcelona got knocked out. Benfica got knocked out. PSG barely survived against Dynamo Kiev, so let's get into it. Let's see how we are doing. We're going to sim it through the calendar because it's a lot easier this way. First leg here, away from home. When we pick up man of the match, it's a 2-2 draw. Second leg here against Juventus. At home this time, back in England. Oh my lord, a 5-3 win on aggregate, which was a 3-1 win on the day. And we are into the next round of the Champions League. And so the round 16 results are as follows. Man City moved past Bayer Leverkusen 7-3. PSG over Man United 6-5. We obviously moved past against Juventus. AC Milan take down Fenerbahce. Real Madrid clean sheet against Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich handle business against Sporting. And then PSV take down Inter Milan, while Tottenham take down Porto. That leads the quarterfinals as this. We are taking on the other side of Italy, the only other Italian side now remaining, AC Milan. Tottenham are taking on PSV. Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid, and PSG versus Man City. So two great matchups there. Two matchups here. First leg here against AC Milan here. We pick a man of the match. Again, Evan Nielsen, another 2-2 draw. Could be another 5-3 win on aggregate. Second leg here against AC Milan. Can we handle business at home? Yes, we can. A 1-0 win on the day. We are in the semifinals of the Champions League. And you can see there, we're taking on PSV. So they took down Tottenham. So obviously, y'all know we took down AC Milan, PSV took down Tottenham, Real Madrid handled business against Bayern, and PSG take down Manchester City. And so the semifinals are this: us versus PSV, PSG versus Real Madrid. First leg here against PSV at Selhurst Park, a 1-1 draw. Second leg here against PSV away from home. We pick up man of the match. What is that, a 1-0 win on the day? Was it 2-2 draw again? No, it was a 2-1 win. It was a 1-1 draw, and then a 2-1 win. We're in a Champions League final. And so before we get to the Champions League final, okay, never mind, this is it. I was going to say we have another another thing, but this is it. It's this or the series or the video is over, and it's not technically a fail because we somehow won the Premier League last season, but no Champions League football for next season. Who are we playing in the Champions League final, you might ask? Well, it is none other than PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. They took down Real Madrid 3-2 on aggregate. Let's get into this final here. PSG versus Crystal Palace. And so here we go. Champions League final, and I'm not controlling the team. It's a tactical view here where we did the kickoff glitch there of trying to put PSG under pressure. They're the originators of that tactic. Let's go see the lineup. Actually, you see there, you're going to see Koundé there. Champions League here at 4-3-3. Kvaratskhelia at left wing. Gonzalo Ramos at striker. Chamberlain at right wing. Zaire, Vitinha, and Joao Neves in the midfield. Nuno Mendes as your left back. Ruben Diaz and Pacho as your two center backs. Jules Koundé at right back. And Diego Costa in between the sticks. Let's get into it. Chamberlain, Ramos, Joao Neves, Chamberlain, intercepted, dealt with. Joao Neves, Gonzalo Ramos! Hello, headed away. Kvaratskhelia, Gonzalo Ramos, headed down by Van de Ven. Pino into Wharton, Wharton into McTominay, and McTominay! It's a corner here. Kvaratskhelia now. And Joao Neves, headed away by Wharton. Adam Wharton, Jeremy Pino, Gonzalez, Ramos, Barry, headed away. Adam Wharton, Evan Nielsen over the top for Jeremy Pino. And Jeremy Pino, Barry into Evan Nielsen. Evan Nielsen, wide for Pino. And Pino, cross comes in. Hello, can you win a header? No, Nuno Mendes does. Barry, second ball, couldn't win that either. Zaire now, last 5 minutes. We might be going extra time here, or maybe not. Joao Neves, nearly called game, but off target. And yep, 0-0 after 90. Extra time is coming. Mayulu, cross comes in. The keeper grabs. Mayulu, PSG won it now. PSG really won it now, but we're defending strong at the moment here. Adam Wharton into Jeremy Pino. Now Evan Nielsen. Adam Wharton, Barry, Evan Nielsen. Out wide for Pino. He's offside. Eze, Evan Nielsen. Scott McTominay, Scooby-Doo. He has to get the ball forward. The referee's just going to blow halftime, and she does. Halftime, 0-0, 15 minutes left. It's looking like another penalty shootout. Eze gets absolutely taken down by Jules Koundé. It's a free kick. Surely it is. What can they do with this free kick now? The cross comes in. It's headed away. Ramos now. Cross comes in. Barry wins the header. Costa makes a save. Hello on the rebound. And Crystal Palace might have just won it. Tamar Hello scores in the 117th minute here. And Crystal Palace are just seconds away from being Champions League champions. Barry wins the header. It's a good save by the keeper, but he doesn't do well with the actual aftermath of the save here. And Crystal Palace are leading here. And I just realized we're in the same country. We're at Old Trafford. It is the Man United Stadium. Crystal Palace didn't have far to travel for this game. And well, now we have 117th minute and won't have far to travel with the trophy back home. Corey, hello. Stopped by Nuno Mendes, but the referee won't give them enough time to get up the field, and that is game over. That is Crystal Palace as your Champions League winners. So from Premier League winners last season to Champions League glory on the first time of asking, what a job we have done here. What a miracle we have somehow done here. And so it will be Scooby-Doo to lift the trophy. Scott McTominay lifting the Champions League trophy. We are your champions of Europe. The job here is done. The rebuild here is successful. It's a lot more successful than the one against Tottenham. I'll see y'all back here hopefully on Friday. If this is coming out on Wednesday, hopefully on Friday for another rebuild or another video. But until then, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.